The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have scarcely returned to the UK after cutting ties with the royal family in March 2020. The pair briefly stopped in to see the Queen on their way from California to The Hague for the Invictus Games earlier this month. But the decision to try to have their own life away from the firm could come back to bite the Duke and Duchess in the future, a royal biographer has told Express.co.uk. Ian Lloyd, the author of the newly published The Queen, 70 Chapters in the Life of Elizabeth II, warned that the Sussexes could wind up much like the Duke and Duchess of Windsor if they continue on their current path. Mr. Lloyd commented, "They could eventually end up like the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, where they're just a sort of mini-court, miles away from Britain. This would effectively become a sad version of the British royal family abroad," he added. The Duke of Windsor was the title King Edward VIII eventually adopted after he ascended, then abdicated, the throne in 1936. His reign from January to December 1936 ended when he renounced the throne to Mary Wallis Simpson, an American socialite and divorcee. He is the only British monarch to have voluntarily given up the crown. During the 1930s, the then heir met Ms. Simpson and fell in love with her, before attempting to pursue marriage once he took the throne. But opposition from the senior royal ranks, the church, and many politicians made up the king's mind to renounce his reign. As George VI took over as sovereign, he granted his elder sibling the title of Duke of Windsor, although the Duchess, once she married Edward, was not permitted to use an HRH title. The couple then spent the rest of their marriage and lives together, living in Europe and occasionally returning for the odd royal engagement. The similarities between the Windsors and the Sussexes, Mr. Lloyd predicted, could mean that Harry's decision to remove himself from the firm for love and live overseas may come back to bite him in years to come. He added, "It happened with the Windsors, it happened with anybody who tried to have their own life." Mr. Lloyd raised the possibility that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex attempting to at once distance themselves from royalty yet profit from association with the royal brand could a tactic easily exhausted. He described how the likes of Netflix will want to discuss the Queen and royalty, but once that's exhausted, what is there? He posed. He warned, he might possibly run out of ideas. The Duke and Duchess signed a deal with streaming giant Netflix in September 2020. Just months after breaking with the royal family. But Prince Harry's attraction to the likes of Netflix depends on his association with the royal family, Mr. Lloyd claimed. He remarked, "I think he will try and keep in touch." He described how continued links to the royal family boosts his, Harry's, own image, adding, "He still needs to remember those roots."